Moving on, we got Edson Barboza. Why do I keep saying Barboza? Edson Barboza versus Bryce Mitchell in a featherweight bout. Now, Bryce Mitchell has looked phenomenal on the ground, right? When he gets guys there, like you saw against Matt Sales, he hit that twister, right? And then he goes and fights Charles Rosa and dominates him the entire fight, right? Just when he gets guys down, he has incredible pressure that he keeps on them. He slices through position. He gets to mount. He's hunting for things like the twister. He's taking your back. He's threatening with arm triangles. And he's he's very good at passing, right? Just constantly cooking you from the top. And Edson Barboza is known as more of a striker, right? Obviously, but has had a lot of experience against high-level wrestlers, right? This guy has fought Kevin Lee. This man has fought Khabib. He's felt that. He's felt world-class. Like, we're kind of figuring out, we know kind of when you look at what Bryce Mitchell did to Charles Rosa, and Charles Rosa is a legit black belt. Like, yeah, it's world-class, but, like, Khabib is, like, the elite of the elite, right? Barboza's felt that, and it's going to be interesting to see I know that, like, Bryce Mitchell's like, I'm a fighter. This is not a striker versus grappler matchup, but I do think that Bryce Mitchell's going to find that he doesn't want to stand up with Edson Barboza very long. That's not the path to victory here. Somebody as explosive as he is, somebody who has had the success in the striking department throughout his UFC career like he has, I think Mitchell's competent there. I think he knows how to stand and fight. I think he's a good kickboxer. He'll throw some surprising stuff at you, but you did see him start to get exposed and backed up a little bit in the Andre Fili fight in those scenarios, right? So I think it's important that Bryce Mitchell gets this fight to the ground. The question is going to be, can he get it there? And you did get to see one of the things that I really do like about Bryce Mitchell is the fact that he chain wrestles so well. Like when he gets in on a single leg, if the first attempt fails, he's just pursuing it relentlessly and going through different sequences until he gets you to the ground, right? So that's something that was nice to see in the Fili fight against a guy who is definitely competent. The question is going to be, can you do it against a guy like we said who has seen Khabib and Kevin Lee? And another thing that I think is going to be kind of important in this fight, because I think this might be one of the most important aspects of the fight, to be honest. I don't know. This is just kind of how I see it playing out, I guess. Bryce Mitchell, when he goes through these things, is very focused. He gets very focused on finding a specific submission, right? I think that when you look at the moments where Edson Barboza has really struggled on the ground against people like Khabib and Kevin Lee, those are two guys who use ground and pound very effectively. And you haven't seen that a lot from Mitchell. Like, he'll definitely hit you with stuff while you're down there, but he's very focused on controlling the positions and hunting for a submission, which is great. But I think that Edson Barboza is going to be competent enough defensively to get out of certain scenarios if Bryce Mitchell's not threatening with punches. Like, I just don't think he can get into a pure jiu-jitsu battle if he gets top position on Barboza, because I think Barboza will find a way back to the feet if Bryce Mitchell is not constantly harassing him with ground and pound. If he doesn't have fists going to his face, knees working and stuff like that, I think Barboza's eventually going to find a way out of those situations. You know, I think you have to offer more layers of complexity when you start getting up into these rankings. And I don't think that strictly controlling them like you're on top in a jiu-jitsu match is enough. I think Bryce Mitchell is really going to have heavy emphasis on ground and pound to beat Barboza. If he's just focused on the control, I think you'll see Barboza get back up and start giving Bryce Mitchell problems and maybe hand him his first loss of his career. I really think so. I really think the most important thing, I think you'll see Bryce Mitchell get the fight to the ground, and the question will be, can Bryce Mitchell keep him there? And I think one of the keys to keeping him there is going to be constantly harassing him and distracting him with ground and pound. Because if not, I think Barboza is going to be good enough to get up, right? I really think so. So that to me is one of the most important aspects. Is Bryce Mitchell going to implement more ground and pound as opposed to trying to control the top position, right? So we'll see. We'll see. And Barboza's been in dogfights, so he'll go through some fire to get out of those positions and get back to his feet. Like, this ain't a jiu-jitsu match. I'll get punched in the face if it means getting back up. Like, Barboza will do that, and he will try. You got to see his heart on display in the Khabib fight, right? This is going to be a test for Bryce Mitchell, man. I'm actually kind of surprised that Barboza's as big a dog as he is, but what can you do?